Hi, this is James Melendez, James the Wine Guy, here to share and celebrate this wine with you today. It's a very well-known producer in Rioja, widely distributed in the United States. This is LAN Crianza 2008. And again, this is 2012. So this is a region that just really releases their wines late, which is amazing because, of course, the wines can do that. And the discipline of the producers are able to do that. And in some ways, it seems like it's a competitive landscape of who is going to release the latest. Now, there are specific requirements for the Consejo Regalador, but people tend to, meet the minimum requirements and often exceed them. So here is, of course, here's the front panel, and 13.5% alcohol content, 100% Tempranillo. Back panel for your review, beautiful view of their barrel room. Now, Crianza certification by, again, the Consejo Regalador. Now, this wine is just a really great example. It's from Rioja Alta, so a higher elevation in Rioja. There are so many wines from Rioja, and what I really enjoy is its variation. Sure, it can have maybe 100% Tempranillo or the other red varietals in there, such as the Graciano, Mazuelo, and Garnacha, or maybe just really small parts of that, and Tempranillo is the lead player here. Now, with that comes some really beautiful signatures and profiles, and that comes also with the winemaker's experience. So each bodega does a different characteristic. It's also dependent on their specific vineyard site. What's it going to do? Is it old vines versus newer vines? And so I think that's the beauty of this region. So if you've, and I've heard people say, I don't really care for wines from Rioja. I always say, what have you tried? What have you tasted? What have you tasted recently? Have you tried the Crianza, the Reserva, the Gran Reserva? What is it that you haven't tried? Because I bet there's something there that you're going to enjoy. Now, that's a characteristic that I think a lot of people end up making for maybe other varietals, regions, etc. And those are the things that really get people off track versus getting them back on track to say, okay, you might not have enjoyed wine X, but how about wine Y and Z? There's so many possibilities, and this region does such an exceptionally great job. And foot on ground in this, in this region is really wonderful. Having done so is one way of just really having testimony of saying, yes, this is a great region. It's Spain, one of Spain's leading regions, and for good reason. It just has such a great terroir. It has such a, well, of course, that's dependent on site, but it's also dependent on the specific subregions within Rioja, where the influence is coming from. Is it the Mediterranean or is it the Atlantic? So there's so many different variables there. But whatever it is producing complexity in wines. So here we go. Take a taste of this wine and tell you what it's like. Beautiful mouthfeel to this wine. What I love about wines from Rioja in general are the subtlety and yet complexity and nuances that are actually you tend to enjoy even more. You tend to pick up on even more. You tend to really hone in on those characteristics. This wine is giving notes of dried strawberry, fresh, bright red cherry, diving into herbaceous qualities of bay leaf and thyme, a hint of chocolate and pepper. I give this wine an 8.9 out of a 10.0 scale. For more reviews, please go to jamesthewineguy.com. Please subscribe to my videos on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Vimeo, Google+, Pinterest. Salud.